How's it going, folks?
Hello.
We're here talking about properties, as the title sort of suggests. We've been on the hunt. If you haven't caught up with us before, we are on a hunt for a property in pretty much, southeast Queensland. A few things have changed over the last couple of months on our search. Had a few ups and a few downs, but we're still, pretty much on the hunt. And today we thought we'd run over a couple of properties. Should we give people a bit of a recap of what we're after? Just so...
Might be a good idea.
Yeah, well, you can take off.
So we're looking for 40 to 100 acres. Must have water for aquaponics.
Yes.
Must be fully fenced because for cattle. Must have a house.
A dwelling would be nice.
Yes.
Not essential, but it would be nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're our base requirements, really.
They're our base requirements. The idea is we'd like to have a farm where we can grow our own four-legged protein and also two-legged protein, as well as veggies and that sort of thing, but it's a bit hard to do in our suburban backyard. We'd also like to diversify into larger forms of education, be it regenerative farming. Bianca and I have also been very interested in helping other people just with their general stress in life.
Yes.
And helping them change their beliefs so they're a little bit more positive about themselves and the world around them. So we're looking at doing some work along those lines and have facilities for people to camp and stay over.
Yes.
So we can do either just recreational camping or
course camping.
Do courses.
Or parties.
Parties, that's a big one. And also retreats. So if people want to come up for a bit of a session, learn how to deal with their stress better and how to change their beliefs to make themselves more productive and, generally positive about the world. Happier. Yeah. We all deserve to be happy, no matter what's going on. That's the general goal of the place. But number one in my book is the cows.
Yes.
Want to get back into farming cows, and if we could find a property that had suitable hunting opportunities like rabbits, hares and deer, that would be even better.
Maybe some pig.
Maybe some pig, catch the babies and grow them out for harvest later on. So that's basically the requirements we're after. So so that out of the way. Bit of a long-winded intro. Should we
dive into the two properties?
Yep. So if Bianca would like to start off with one property.
Which I'm going to need my glasses for. So this property was in Glenwood, which was north of Gympie.
Yeah.
About 15, 20 minutes?
35 minutes.
Oh, 35 minutes.
I did my research for this.
And 40 minutes south of Maryborough. So nice sort of midway point between the two main towns.
And
nice
pretty much
cities.
all just right off the Bruce Highway as well. Yeah.
So that was 24 hectares, about 60 acres, and it was cleared. It was gently undulating land, selectively cleared and well maintained. It had a small watercourse running through the property.
It was that watercourse had loads of potential. That's one of the first things the agent said as he was driving us around. There's already a couple of well-established dams.
Was there more than one, or was there just one that we drove
There was
past?
one large established dam, the smaller, like Billabongi style dam. Yeah, it was basically a waterway, a seasonal waterway that they'd built dams on. And there was one position he picked out, our agent, the agent who drove us around there. He said basically you could put a wall across there. The soil underneath was clay-based, so that's a bit of a bonus. And we could basically make a large lake.
So it also had a 3-bedroom hardy plank home with an open plan living area, spacious kitchen, air conditioning in the living rooms. There were ceiling fans throughout the house and a large deck, and it overlooked a shipping container that had been converted into a pool.
They're shipping containers that they convert into an all-in-one pool, and they basically just back a truck up, pop it down. It's got everything in there. It's got the
swim jet, so you can tie yourself and...
Yeah, so it's like a lap pool. Wow, what do they call it? I forget what they call it, but yeah, basically an all-in-one unit. I reckon that could probably stock about 200 or 300 fish, actually. Funny how I think like that. Yeah, don't really need a pool if you got a dam, but yeah.
So the house yard was nicely fenced off as well because she had dogs, so that was
a bonus for Jackie Boy and future pups.
Had about 1 acre of lawn, which had a sprinkling system for watering when needed.
So basically just a really nice little country set-up home. Well, the home yard was nicely set up. Had a little veggie patch and chook yard off to the side that wasn't really kept well.
No, needed a bit of
overgrown.
repairs.
I don't think I'd actually took any video of that, but it was looking pretty scrappy. The property was pretty open. Up the back corner, you could actually see neighbours that looked like they worked on trucks a lot. So I dare say there'd be a bit of banging and clanging from there. So it sort of ruled out that area of the property for setting up a camping area. Yep. Also very sparsely treed.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of privacy.
No, there were some trees up in the back right-hand corner of the property. You could set up tents there, but they would overlook the neighbours.
It wouldn't be a real retreat.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like a bush experience where you could just lay back at night. Definitely, if they were having a bit of a shindig, you'd be able to hear that
easily. Well, the other good things, it had a 3-bay steel framed shed.
Yeah, that was
concrete
awesome.
Floor.
Yep.
It had the 2 shipping containers
either side, lockable.
Side with a awning over the top, and that's where there was stables because the lady who owned it had horses.
Yep. There's also a dressage arena as well for that.
Yeah, she built that too.
So like workshop-wise, awesomely set up, hey?
Yeah.
And the paddocks were already fenced off into a couple of acre blocks, so we could do rotational grazing. Oh, stockyards. It had, fairly new stockyards, all metal framed. It had a vet crush, so you could do all that sort of work. So yeah, as a whole, a nice property. Neighbours up the back, they're probably really nice people. We didn't meet them, but just looking at what was around their property as we did the drive-by, it could be a bit of a bummer on people who want the real camping experience and the silence and all that sort of thing.
I think also for us, it highlighted the need for a bit more seclusion.
Yeah, it did, certainly did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly, it was 56 acres and you could still see, and we looked at 40
could see
acre
all the
lots,
neighbours.
and you couldn't see any neighbours.
Yeah.
So.
But all in all, we sort of felt wasn't really for us. We could see that we could plan out trees and shield from neighbours, stop eating my hand. We could do all that sort of thing. It would be labour of love, a long process to get to where we wanted to go. But due to the price of the property, we would need it to start paying for itself pretty much all in the first 6 to 8 months. So we just decided to make a pass on that. So that was the first property.
Yes.
Now, just a quick heads up for you folks who are like us and wanting to purchase some land and are looking for a couple of funding methods to help your dream become the reality you're after. Now, Jamie and Shelby have created the Living Off-Grid Dream Course that can guide you through this process and help that dream come true. This course helps you clarify your vision, create a plan, and also gives you tips on different funding methods you can use to buy the land that is right for your dream. It also helps you plan and create an economic engine so you have a passive income from your land to help pay the bills as it grows. It also covers topics like infrastructure options, building types, land layout and design using permaculture and regenerative farming methods. Now, over 3,200 people from around the world, including Australia, are using this system currently to fund their own dream and create a sustainable income from their own land. You can find out more information by clicking my affiliate link down in the description below. Now that's enough of me trying to fund our off-grid dream. Back to the video. So the next property is in the Talegalla Weir area north of Gympie, around about 50 minutes north of Gympie and 38 minutes to Maryborough. So a great drive to work for Bianca through national parks.
Yes.
And what did they have going there?
It's a pine plantation, but they also have conservation areas within them.
Yeah, so it's all on national state-owned land.
Yes.
So something Bianca's had a bit of experience with through work. 40 acres, I should let you know, it's 40 acres in size, completely private land, and it had a pumping licence, the property. So basically, they had it set up so they pumped from the creek all the way up to a couple of concrete header tanks, and from that they just irrigated the whole property. The creek itself is very picturesque. On the opposite side of the creek was a pine plantation with a bit of scrub in front of it, so that looked pretty cool. Nice and quiet down there, nice open area where you could go kayaking and paddling. So yeah, that was a real big bonus.
It was easy access to the creek, that's what I like.
Really nicely set up. The drive down there was beautiful. Could see loads of great prospects for camping.
Yeah.
We'll get on to the paddocks first. The back area was divided into 4 paddocks. As we drove down on the right hand side, there was a small paddock on the right, and on a little bit further a larger paddock, and then we came around the corner and there's an old milking shed with a paddock, and in between that and
the next
paddock was a series of little dams, apparently just teeming with red claw, an invasive yabby, plus a few other yabby species, apparently John was saying, and they were sectioned off into 2 paddocks either sides of those water holes. He's done the very sensible thing of fencing off the water holes because you don't really want to give your cattle access to them. All the watering troughs in all the paddocks were fed from the header tanks up the top, so all done by gravity. One pump to move the water up, and then gravity did the rest. So they had their own water on float valves. So yeah, and he said that he cleaned them out regularly just to keep your cattle in best health.
And the paddocks had
They were
great
improved,
grass and
improved pasture. He rattled off
legumes
about
through it as well.
the winter legumes. He rattled off about 5 different grass types from memory. All the fencing, he'd done all the fencing.
Yep.
That was all new. 5-strand barbed wire, external, internal.
And all the fire breaks around the property were cleared as well.
Yep, which is another big thing, especially being next to a pine plantation. You don't want to go, live next door to that firebomb and not be protected. There was areas within this little seasonal water course, because it's not a named creek. John pointed out that all you'd need is a small little wall, and you'd have some nice little lagoon-ish areas around there, which are great for wildlife. And yeah, beautiful little walking tracks. People had already made seats down there. There was little seats down there already. So spectacular property. The milking shed we could have easily turned into a shower and a little kitchen area. So that's another bonus tick for this place. Yep. The house itself was a 3-bedroom home. Was tiled throughout the home, which is a big bonus. It had air conditioning, had a fireplace inside, modern kitchen, modern bathroom, separate toilet, large mudroom, laundry. Could be made off grid with the solar panels on there. So we could throw a couple of batteries in there, the correct inverters, and yeah, we'd be on our way to being totally off grid. Do you want to tell them about the cabin?
Yes, it had a granny flat cabin that had its own composting toilet and shower and a little kitchenette and its own fireplace, and I think there was an air conditioner in there as well.
Yeah, it had air conditioning as well.
So it was a nice little setup for when
visitors.
people come and visit.
The sheds were open, which is a bit of a concern for me, just security-wise.
But they did say it's so quiet there that if anyone drives down the street, everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
So it had a cattle crush as well.
Had cattle yards with cattle crush, yep.
Yep.
And he did say that the ride-on mower would stay with the property, and the tractor could be an option. So the big question is, did we make an offer?
It was very nice.
Was very nice, beautiful place. But
there is a but.
There is a but.
I can't pick exactly what the but is.
It's the main issue that I can see is it's at the top of our budget. Well, it's still on the market. You never know. We might actually make an offer if it stays on the market long enough. The downside is it's at the top of our budget range, and to get people to be able to drive down the back to where we have the paddock we wish to turn into the camping area, we would have to do some work on the road. 2-wheel drive's fine during the dry, but I dare say just the little bit of rain and the slope would be significant enough for a lot of 2-wheel drive cars not to be able to get up there. Oh, to let you know as well, the elevation from, keep putting it over Bianca's face, the elevation from the top of the property to the weir down the bottom, probably 25 to 30 metres.
Yeah.
So around about 25 to 30 metres, or that many feet above Bianca's head there, worth of drop from the high point to the low point. So that's why the gravity tanks work so well. And we would be flood free. One of the big buts is the sheds are open, and I would like to be lockable, mainly because we'll be having people coming to the property, strangers. That is an expense. We would have to make that lockable. We'd also have to spend a few $1,000s on out the back area to get it up to scratch for people to be able to wash and cook dinners under cover. So that would be a bit of an issue, dollar-wise.
I think also too, people coming onto the property and accessing the back paddocks.
Yeah.
There's only one path that they can take, which is quite close to the house, because the other side the land drops off.
Yeah,
steeper.
Too steep. Down the fire break, he said you could drive down it, but we would have to clear a path through the trees for people to have access. We'd also have to move the cattle yards and the cattle crush. That as well, you would need to seal that, do a bit of road base on there, and I could see that costing 10 to 20 grand easy. Which is, like I said, we'd be stretching the budget just to make an offer for the property. So unfortunately,
if it was just you and me,
if it was just
and nothing
again,
else, it would be perfect.
Just me and Bianca, we'd be there right now.
Yes.
And you'd be seeing a welcome to our new place video. But unfortunately, no, because of what we want to do, you never know, we might revisit it in the future. Our financial circumstances may change and it may be something that we can afford to do. There is the crowdfunding through the living off-grid. We could go down that road as well. Until we could articulate what goals we want and what funding, I don't think it is really an option to put that forward to people for this piece of land in particular and ask them to invest in it. So that's other pieces of land, I could see that being a model. So don't forget to check out that guide as well. There is an affiliate link down below if you want to join that course, the off-grid living course. Any purchases made there do put a couple of pennies in the coffer, and we really do appreciate any support we can get to help us fund our dream. But I think we'll leave it there.
Yes.
You're going to hop up and say goodbye? You're going to hop up and say goodbye? Oh, he's been pestering me the whole time, but no, he's not going to. So anyway.
He's going to come and harass me.
Thank you very much for coming along and taking a part of this journey.
Yes.
And hopefully in a couple of months' time we will have, oh there he is, we'll have a video welcome you to the property, or at least announcing a property that we bought.
Yes.
So there we go. Don't forget to leave your thumbs up down below, as well as any comments you have, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But we will leave it there. Cheers folks, and have a top one.
Bye.